Houston, we have a situation. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the Eagle of Dagestan, retired in 2020, right? 29-0, one of the best UFC and MMA records that there is. Khabib Nurmagomedov went on to form Eagles MMA, Eagles FC, that is not currently trading right now at the moment, and a few other various businesses around the world, hotels in Turkey, and also some startups in the UAE. All right. Khabib Nurmagomedov is now being kind of like his name's being called out in the Russian media for owing somewhere in excess of 300 million rubles, right? We're talking about $3 million here. And I've seen a lot of his fans on Twitter have been saying, oh, this is nothing for Khabib. Khabib can pay this easily. It's not a big deal. I'll tell you something. $3 million is $3 million, right? Liquid. We're talking about liquid here, not assets. $3 million in cash he needs to pay up. Right, the Russians basically said that he owes some money in some sort of taxes, some back taxes to the Russian Federal Tax Agency for some tax that wasn't paid a few years back on a few of his businesses, and it's found some irregularities. Sorry, I get tongue twisted sometimes. Irregularities, right? Irregularities they found. And Khabib's basically got to sort this problem out. Otherwise, he could face 6 years in prison. I think that is the worst. He could face 6 years in prison. There are a few other penalties. I believe I saw a few. I saw being reported. But listen, there's been talks about maybe Khabib coming back to the UFC. 3.2 million he owes in taxes. He definitely could secure a fight. Secure a fight in the UFC with any of the top 155 pounders in Arman Suzuki and Charles Oliveira. Obviously not Islam Makhachev, because that's one of his guys who he brought up in his camp. Maybe one of the welterweights, because I'm not sure if Khabib can get down to 155 at the moment. Let's just say 170. There are a few guys over there at 170 who might want to entertain taking on Khabib. To tell you the truth, I don't think Khabib's going to be coming back, even now that he's got this issue with tax and stuff like that. I don't know, unless they're threatening him like some real jail time and he can't get out of it, then only then I can actually see Khabib maybe considering coming back to the octagon. But listen, he's out of contract. I don't believe he's in contract at the moment now, so he can do what he wants to do. He's got Eagles FC, right? There is other alternatives other than signing with the UFC, because we know the UFC, you don't want to sell your soul to the UFC. Dana, realizing that Khabib's in trouble right now, will use it as leverage to try and broker the best deal for the UFC and himself. Trying to probably tie Khabib down to a 2 to 3 or maybe even a 4-fight deal. Say, look, we want you on a 3-4 fight deal, and then that leaves him stuck. He's stuck with the UFC. If he wants to quit halfway through, he can quit, but he can never come back because he's still got a 2-fight deal, 2 fights left on the UFC. So look, he owns Eagles FC. I would say maybe a fight with Conor McGregor over at the UFC would be very lucrative. And any of the top lightweights, I'm sure he could secure a big bag over there with Conor, a rematch of Conor. But and something else he should consider, right? Khabib should consider maybe calling out GSP and getting GSP to come over to Eagles, and they can basically take the lion's share of the cut, cutting out the UFC, right? Cutting the UFC out of the equation, right? Doing a massive pay-per-view with Eagles FC. And try and get George St. Pierre to be on the main card. I don't know if George St. Pierre would really want to come out of retirement to take on Khabib, or even to do Khabib the favor. But if the money's right and there's enough money involved in it, I shouldn't see why George St. Pierre would refuse. right? We're talking about big bucks here. No peanuts that the UFC are offering. This is Khabib's promotion. Maybe he could get it off the ground, and these guys can get the lion's share, the pay-per-view cut. But anyway, enough said. Do us a favor, smash the like button, hit the bell for notifications so we get all the new latest videos.